way to get to an automatic. I use a zombie apocalypse as an example on this. A more real-life example is that a couple weeks ago I wrecked my car. I've been getting to school back and forth with my mom's 5-speed, and it is extremely difficult to drive one, I must say. Also, a lot of people say that it's better on gas, and up there it shows the website where I got that from. And I also got to say that I was a little offended when I was looking for sites because it kept saying, show your masculine side, blah, 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 saying it was only for guys. But anyway, before you start, it's a good idea to get familiar with your vehicle. Just practice shifting into each gear. If you're starting from neutral, just shift into first gear. You want to pull it to the left and push it forward. The second gear, you pull it to the left, push it back. For third gear, straight forward. For fourth gear, you just pull it straight back. For fifth, you want to push it to the left and push it forward. And for reverse, depending on if it's a 6-speed or a 5-speed, for a 5-speed, you push it to the right and push it back. For a 6-speed, I think that you push it all the way left and forward. I'm not sure, my mom's is a 5-speed. Also, you want to get familiar with the tachometer, that thing. Looks like the speedometer, it's next to the speedometer. That'll let you know when you need to shift if you're not experienced. From my own experience, the hardest part of the driving is getting the car to go. And to do this, you want to press the clutch in. You want to do that with your left foot, and you want to start the car. You should probably also hold the brake with your foot. A lot of the sites say that you don't have to do that, but I always do that just because you do that with the automatic. If the car's already in first gear, if it's not in first gear, you put it in first gear. And then here's the hard part. You push the gas in with your right foot. You want the speedometer to be between 1.5 and 2, or the tachometer. For me, when I first did it, I just slammed the gas down and I killed it a bunch of times. You're probably going to have to practice it more than once. You're probably going to kill it more than once. But after you do that, continue to hold the gas and let off the clutch easy. And again, you want to practice that several times. Where did it go that way? The next part, this kind of goes with starting it. Once you achieve starting it on a flat surface, you have to practice starting it on a hill, which is even harder. You do the same thing that you do in step 1, except for you want to keep the car from rolling backwards. So you want to try to hold the brake and push the gas at the same times. Step 2 is shifting up, and again, you've already did the hardest part. When you have to shift up, you want the speedometer to be about 3, the tachometer. You take your foot off the gas, you put your left foot on the clutch, and if you're in first gear, you'll shift down, you shift to the next speed up. To know how to shift without actually watching the tachometer, as a beginner, most people just do that. But according to my mom, she says with experience you'll learn. When the car makes this sound, when the car feels like this, that's when you're going to shift. She's my mom, so I believe her. When you downshift, you shouldn't downshift to stop. You can do that, but the best way to actually stop is to put the car in neutral and then just coast to a stop. If you downshift, you want the tachometer to say 1, and you just hold down the clutch and you shift down to the next lowest gear. My experience, I went from like 5th to 2nd, meaning to go to 4th. It really messed the car up. The reasons that you would downshift include traffic and dangerous roads where it would be necessary for you to decrease your speed. And like I said, when you're stopping, you always want to have your foot on the clutch. And also you'll want to hit the brake, obviously. You can slow down 2 ways, like I mentioned earlier. You can downshift until you get to your first gear, or you can put the car in neutral. And putting the car downshifting constantly, that's really hard on your transmission. Once you stopped, to continue, you want to repeat step 1. To park the car, you put the car in first gear, and you always want to set the emergency brake. And that's whether you're on a hill or you're on a flat surface. And this PowerPoint won't make you an expert on driving a stick. It's only the basics. And a lot of the other knowledge that comes with driving a manual car comes from experience. It's not really something that you can be taught. Thanks, guys.